Hi, everybody, and welcome to another presentation. This time we'll be talking about social systems and the impact that globalization has on them. So we're looking at our sixth learning target here, that you'll be able to explain how globalization can impact the social system. We're looking at a variety of different terms here: cultural diffusion, health, technology, multiculturalism, and pop culture. So the expectation is that as we go through this, you are filling in your note sheet, answering those questions, and marking down anything that you are unsure of, so that when you come in tomorrow, we can discuss it. The first thing I would like you to do is I want you to go to this video on YouTube. It's located in Edmodo. You can find it. It's a pentatonics video about the evolution of music. So please watch this short video clip and answer those first two questions about what's happening to the style of music and what's happening to the color. So pause your video now and watch that and fill in the answers. So globalization can cause major changes in culture. So the first idea is cultural diffusion. What is cultural diffusion? It's the spreading of elements of culture from their original locations. So you take different pieces of a culture from, let's say, China, and they get incorporated into a new culture like Germany or Nicaragua or the US. And so the idea of diffusion is you're diffusing something when you are spreading it out. So different examples of this include sushi. It's originally from Japan. We now have sushi bars and places all around the country where we can enjoy sushi. And yoga, which originated in India and is now widely used as a form of exercise for people to stay healthy. So the idea of sushi and yoga become examples of cultural diffusion, where we see the elements of different cultures from around the world, like Japan and India, being infused and incorporated into cultures like the United States. And this can create a global audience for cultural practices. And so when you have different cultures around the world adopting different practices from other cultures, we can see the elimination of harmful practices, things like xenophobia that we talked about in our first unit, of fear of foreigners or those who are different from us. There are also some great health benefits as well. So due to the world becoming more globalized, we can see an increase in our health. Well, how does that happen? Through collaboration. So when we're able to share information and technology, and people around the world have different and greater access to this, it can mean that we have different ideas that we can then share with one another to help improve our technology. And so when we're able to share these ideas, it can cause great improvements in the medical sphere, which is obviously very important for places that on their own wouldn't necessarily be able to advance in the medical world. Increases in trade means that there's greater availability of medicine, and if there's greater availability for medicine means that it can be cheaper. And so places, especially in some of the lesser developed parts of the world that can't on their own make medicine or can't afford it, with trade can now be able to afford cheaper medicines for their people. And so these increased technology and practices leads to improvements in standard of living and life expectancy, because greater medical advancements means people can live longer, meaning life expectancy goes up. It also means that people are going to have more knowledge about healthy foods and lifestyles. And so when you are able to culturally diffuse some of these different things from other cultures and learn more about them, like yoga, for instance, we're able to change some of our own practices in our own culture and make better choices, not only in terms of what we eat, but how we live our lives. And that also means greater access to healthcare for more people, and becomes more available for more people too. We've already talked a lot about technology, but now we're going to look at how technology is impacted within the social systems. And so with the increases in globalization, it means we have more access to the internet. As we talked about a moment ago, we have be able to collaborate more between countries, Skype, Google Docs, the cloud, etc., being able to share things with people instantaneously around the world, which can be a great thing for collaboration within business and with people and ideas. Social media, as we talk about a lot in class, allows the world to be more connected, no matter where you are. You have instant access on your phones and tablets, etc., that you can access information at any point. So, for example, if you were to move to Europe, you'd still be able to keep in touch with your friends in America because you'll be able to follow them on social media, but you also would be able to talk and communicate with them instantly through different chat functions and Facebook Message and Skype and WhatsApp and different applications like that, because of this increase in globalization. We're more interconnected, we have better technology, we have better availability of staying connected with people all over the world. As we talked about also, there's greater spread of information around the world as well. So citizens in America can hear about a tsunami that hits the Philippines, and they're able to send more relief. So different things like that are happening around the world that we otherwise wouldn't necessarily hear about, we now can hear about because we are so much more interconnected with one another via social media and technology. Multiculturalism. This is the understanding that there's the existence and acceptance of a variety of cultures within a single society. So the idea that there's one society that has many, many different kinds of cultural groups a part of it. And again, it's not just the understanding that it exists, but that we also accept it. That's a big, big piece of multiculturalism. So there's a variety of ways in which we see this. Sports, for instance, we see soccer and other different kinds of sports that have been adopted from a variety of different cultures. And so not everyone in one society is going to play all the same sports, obviously. We're going to see different people playing different sports that have been culturally diffused from different places around the world. And this has made a major difference within our ability to be more multicultural than xenophobic. Fashion, we obviously see lots of different kinds of fashion from all over the world. French designers like Louis Vuitton, we see Italian designers, Asian designers, all sorts of different things, and a lot of different famous brands that aren't even American that we as a society enjoy. So that's another piece of it there. Saunas, originally from Finland, and we see saunas and other components of health and working out involved within the American society. And music, of course, where you see lots of individuals on the top charts in music who aren't even from America. And so we see, again, a lot of these different components of culture not only existing within our own society, but that we also come to accept these things as well. And so all of these cultures are impacting our way of life very, very heavily. Now, on the same token, while globalization can be positive, it can also have some negatives as well. So this idea of nationalism or having pride and belief in support of your own country as being a great country, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but where it becomes a bad thing is when you start to become more fearful of foreigners and immigrants, and so that can cause us to become more xenophobic, which could become problematic in our ability to stay connected with the outside world. So as great as globalization is at connecting us, this greater transparency of seeing other cultures around us could make us all the more nationalist, which isn't, again, a bad thing, unless you pair it with xenophobia, and that is where the problem comes. So hopefully you've been able to fill out your notes along the way, and make sure you bring any of your questions to class tomorrow. Have a great day.